Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com, and I'm joined today on Tuesday, May the 2nd, by Mr. Jesse Shule of JesseShule.com, Sean Higgs of PicksandParlays.net, two of the best you'll find anywhere in our industry. And glad to have them, and we're lucky to have them. Without further ado, boys, I'll go one by one here. Jesse, how are you?
Well, Ross, the streak continues. April was a fantastic month for me. Closed it out in style, and then the first day of May was a nice day as well. So yeah, everything's going quite well.
Fantastic to hear, buddy. And Mr. Higgs.
Nice start. 3-1 day in baseball yesterday. I'll take it. I'm not Jesse Shule or Russ Benjamin 67%-esque, but I make a couple shekels. I'll roll out a little bit of money on baseball.
Just the number one NFL handicapper in the world right there.
That doesn't help during baseball and NBA playoffs, though.
No, you're only as good as what you did yesterday.
That's it. That's
unfortunately,
the world we live in.
We know, me and Jesse know how hard it is to be on top of a leaderboard in an entire season, and you did that in the NFL, and kudos to you. And Jesse had a tremendous NFL season as well.
It's like being married, guys. It's only as good as what you do today. Oh, yeah. Well, listen, I did laundry. I don't care about Jesse doing laundry. Today's the house a mess. Today is
it's the
same
day.
thing. Who cares you went 4-0? I don't make a difference today. You're 1-2. It's you're 1-1 today. You're not helping me.
But on the other side of the coin, we have to listen to their accomplishments and deeds they performed over the last month or so. So, you can't be selfish, I guess, Sean.
I know.
Anyway, we're covering the NBA today, and Jesse will be looking at Miami and the Knicks, and Sean's going to be giving us some NBA player props. And right, Sean, player props?
Yeah, 2 player props.
And I'm going to look at the Lakers and Golden State, game 1 of that series. Jesse, the Knicks turned in a real, I don't know how to put it, a blah performance in game 1. They started out the game strong, but to me, the absence of Julius Randle was a huge deal for the Knicks. He's a key component of that team, both on the boards and from a scoring perspective. Sometimes he could be a little bit erratic, but the Knicks are definitely a better team with him than without him. His status for tonight, the last I looked, was questionable. What's your take on this game? As the Knicks are currently a 6.5-point favorite with a very low total of 206.5.
Well, before I get started, Ross, let me congratulate my man Sean Higgs, because he was all over Miami in game 1, and props to him for having the testicular fortitude that I didn't have to play the game 1. I just stayed away from it. But this Miami Heat team has been kind to me, and you sort of said it, that the Knicks played poorly in the second half. Maybe 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Maybe Miami's just really that strong right now, especially with Jimmy Butler playing the way he's been playing. But of course, the big question is, how is Jimmy Butler's ankle heading into this game? And I got to think the smart play for the Heat is not to rush Jimmy Butler back. They're talking about some serious swelling on that ankle, and there's a chance that maybe they could tape it up and he could play. But I think from Miami's perspective, if you can go back home with a split in the first 2 games and you get a healthier Jimmy Butler in game 3, rather than potentially worse off Jimmy Butler if he goes out there, tries to play, and re-aggravates it, I just don't see a lot of upside in rushing Jimmy Butler back. You mentioned Julius Randle, and also Brunson is nursing some injuries as well. I believe Brunson's more of a sure thing to play tonight. I think probably Randall's going to give it a go as well. Regardless, the Heat are going to miss Butler more than New York's going to miss either of those 2 guys. I like the Knicks, but it's a kind of a heavy line, 6.5, especially in a game with a total that's so low. Particularly when you think that the Knicks have gone under in all 6 playoff games they've played. A lot of those games didn't even reach 200 combined points. So from my perspective, laying 6.5 points in a game that's going to land at 195 is like laying 9.5 points in a Kings Warriors game. So I'm not too keen on doing that. So I've got two bets for you, Ross. The first one, I like the under because there is a lot of injury concerns. Butler's probably not going to play. There's a chance that Randall won't play, or if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. They scored 105 points in the first half of game one. The total is sitting at 105 for this game. I think the Knicks are probably going to come out really strong defensively. The lack of their best player could hurt the Heat. So I like the under 105 for the first half. And the next bet that I'm going to talk about is called the double result bet. And for those of you who are not familiar with that, that is the team to win the first half and the full game. It's a money line play on both sides. They have to be leading at the half. If it's a tie game at halftime, that is a loser. But that allows you to get the favorite, in this case, a 6.5 point favorite. They don't have to cover any points. They just have to be ahead at halftime and win the game. And I think based on the injuries, put it this way, if the Knicks aren't winning at halftime, I think they're in big trouble in this game. So the price for this play is 135. And now I think they're over a 2-1 favorite on the money line. So you're getting a much lower price to back New York to win straight up. They just got to be winning at halftime too. So those are my two plays, double result with the Knicks and under 105 for the first half.
Okay, so you like the Knicks and the under 105 in the first half. And I did have the testicular fortitude to play that game in game one, but I had a bad result. I had the Knicks. So anyway, Sean, any testicular fortitude you would like to display in response to Jesse's pick?
The Butler, you want to kind of go up 2-0, right? That'd be a nice little statement. You get control of the series. But on the flip side of that, their next game is, I think, Sunday. So that's basically a whole week he could have to rest his, foot and his ankle, whatever the case may be. So even if he plays, how effective is he? Right? Under definitely, I think, would be. And I like the over in the last game because I thought everybody was just pounding. Oh, it's an under. Cleveland defense, I think, was pretty good on the season. I would lean under here just based on the Knicks. I don't. I'm not a huge Knick backer. I don't like the offense. I don't like the coach. Under, yes. I would still lean to the points because we saw last night with no Embiid. Guys go down and people kind of step up. And the Heat team, you got a good coach, and you have, you got a bunch of guys who are just, they know their roles on the team. It's not a sexy team. There's nothing like flashy about them. Like it's like, oh, this guy, and he's on TNT commercials. It's just one of those teams that just finds ways to win. You didn't expect them to get past Milwaukee. Also, they made short work of the Bucks. They took care of the Knicks. I want to lean to the points there. I want to lean to the points and the under in this one.
All right. So Sean's opinion is he's going to take, he likes or has a lean toward, let me clarify that, the Miami Heat plus 6.5 over the Knicks. And he also likes the under 206.5. And, I don't know what you got the total at in the last game, Sean, but I know the closing total was 209.5. It landed on 209.
Yeah, it was 206 opener.
206 206 opener. So now it opened at 209 and it's down to 206.5. Yeah. So a little bit of a flip of the script there. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the uncertain status of Jimmy Butler and Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. Again, here we are at playoff time and we're talking about player availability.
At least these guys are actually hurt, though.
Yeah, they're actually hurt. Yes, exactly.
You're hurt. It's not.
Yeah, but it's still a little frustrating. You want to see, and it seems like star players are the ones being affected. Not only is Jimmy Butler questionable for tonight, let's not forget Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo went down in the series against Milwaukee and are out for years. So they're really playing shorthand. And as opposed to Philly, in my opinion, Philly's supporting cast that they have available right now is a lot better than Miami's current supporting cast. Now, if you threw Hero and Oladipo in there, it might even off a bit, but I don't.
You don't think Kevin Love scores 45 tonight?
Yeah, well, I guess if you want to look at what James Harden did yesterday, but James Harden, a prolific scorer, and I was sort of shocked, to be honest with you, that tied his career high. I would have guessed anything he had in the 50s one time or two times throughout his career in the playoffs, but that apparently that didn't occur.
He's been terrible in the playoffs. When he was with the Rockets, they were
Yeah.
terrible in the playoffs.
Well, I know his teams didn't do well, but the one thing he used to drive me crazy when he was with the Rockets, and I'd be interested in hearing you guys' take on this, is he'd hold on to the ball until about 5 seconds to go in the shot clock and then try to make something happen. And usually well, in my memory, most of the time it resulted in a bad shot or, a forced shot.
Foul.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll see what happens. But, the Knicks, if you want to count the closing line, you can make a case that, like Sean said, that total opened at 206.5 the last game, or 206. I'm sorry. The Knicks have gone under in all 6 of their postseason games. All right, if that game you want to count it as an over, still 5-1 to the under. They've allowed 108 points or less in all 6 games, and they've allowed less than 104 times. So their defense has been stout. And if you look at these two teams too, Miami number 29 in offensive pace in the NBA, and the Knicks number 25. There's a reason why this total is so low.
Man.
And then you couple in with the uncertainties of player availability. We could very easily be looking at a game in the 90s here. So we'll see. Hopefully for your sake out there, folks, it's a little more exciting than that. But hey, you know what? It's always exciting if we have the under and it wins. That's the bottom line. Anyway, Sean, you have some NBA player props, and again, something different here because of the reduced schedule. And the three of us, we have to create opportunities for us to give you the most information possible. And Sean is kind enough to take on the responsibility of giving you a couple props, and let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah. Well, NBA is probably my favorite sport to bet on. I absolutely love diving into the regular season and getting these guys, looking at them. Nah, I when I got the email, I'm like, really, this guy's gonna be player props in the NBA? But I'll tell you, yesterday afternoon, I went right into it. I'm like, I'm gonna find a prop in each game here that I really like, and I'm actually gonna bet. A lot of it's easy to just throw a game out there you're not gonna bet on, right? It's like I kind of got to lean to this. I bet them. I mentioned last night one of these bets to a friend. We'll start in the Knicks game, and we're talking about no Jimmy Butler. Gabe Vincent, 3-pointers made over 2.5, minus 115. Now, the last game he took 12. These are 5 of 12, 4 of 12, 2 of 6. He had a 1 of 5 game overall. He only took 1 3-pointer. That's kind of like an outlier out of the other ones because other games against the Bucks were 4 of 9 and 4 of 5. So he's taking shots, and he's getting more prolific. And now, if the leading scorer is out, yeah, that 12 looks pretty easy to get to, and he's hit 4 in 3 of the 4 games or 4 of the 5 games, I should say, that he's taken more than 5 shots. So there, I'm going to look at him. He's shooting well, 42% in the playoffs as opposed to 30-something% during the regular season. So Gabe Vincent over 2.5 3-pointers, minus a 115. And again, if I'm going to do a prop, it's not going to be some crazy minus 380 nonsense. They're nice in our realm. We're not going to. Bank account's not going to get crushed if it goes down. Lakers here. D'Angelo Russell points.
All right, stop for 1 second. Right. We're using Gabe Vincent over 2.5 3-point makes. That is, folks, at odds of minus 115. And again, let's talk about this for a second, me and Jesse. Sean mentions Jimmy Butler if he's out, but if you notice, Gabe Vincent has taken on a more prominent role offensively. Obviously, Sean has stated that more so since Oladipo and Tyler Hero went down. So his opportunities, I think, are going to be in the 10 to 12 range again when it comes to 3-point attempts. Your take on that, Jesse?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm assuming Butler is not going to play for the reasons we talked about. It doesn't make sense for them to rush him back when they could just bring him back after Sean said that he gets almost a week off. So other players are going to have to step up. And who else do they really got? Kyle Lowry at this point in his career isn't much of a scorer. Kevin Love's better days are behind him. Vincent is a guy that could score 30 points tonight. He's a guy that could, if he gets hot shooting from beyond the arc, he could carry them, and so why not lean on him?
Yeah, Kyle Lowry at one time of his career was a real good scorer. Notably, when Toronto won it all a couple of years ago, he was a key component there. He still's capable. I mean, in the series against Milwaukee, I believe he had one game in the 20s or one of the play-in games. But he's not 100% healthy like a lot of these players at this time of year. But in any event, I like it. Sean, what's your second prop?
And also he's an old guy too, Kyle Lowry. Let's be honest, guy's been around for
38, 37 or 38 years old.
15 years, got a little mileage on those ankles.
And he's kind of heavy as well. He's not like The thing is, if you're a bit of a heavy guy like me and you, Sean, the age really takes its toll.
I'm glad you left me out of that equation. Anyway, Sean, go ahead with your second prop, buddy.
All right, Laker Warrior game. I'm looking at D'Angelo Russell over 15.5 points minus 115. And I think AD is the real key to this game. I think he could have a monster game, and it's all about LeBron. I get it. But for the Lakers to win and what they did in last series, he was a component of their wins. Game 1, he had 19 points. Then he had 5 points, 17 in a win, 17 in a win, 11, 31 in a win. So I actually think the Lakers will be a little competitive in tonight's game. And I think here's a guy, he was on, I believe, Golden State for like a year. I mean, he was all over. He's on Brooklyn. He's on Golden State. He's on Minnesota. I was like, wait, who is this? He's everywhere. I thought he was pretty good coming out of college. He was getting dealt away like he's some throwing, tossing guy. So he got that little chip. And the fact that the Lakers need him to score 17, basically, that's 17 in four of the wins there. He's their third option kind of guy. I'm going to take it at 15.5 is good enough. He might hit a couple threes. He could hit three threes for you and get us halfway there in the first half. So 15.5 points. Let's go over D'Angelo Russell minus 115.
All right. D'Angelo Russell over 15.5 points at money line odds of minus 115. I don't disagree again. Again, if you look at D'Angelo Russell, I think he welcomed the opportunity going to play with the Lakers. Now he's not the number one option. He's not the guy that's expected to carry the load like he was at Minnesota at one time, for example. And he's playing a complementary role. And quite frankly, he's not catching one of the better defenders on the other team defending him like he did in years past. So,
you bring up his catch a defender, like his bad game he had 5 points. He was 2 of 11 from the field against Memphis. And in the same game, AD was like 4 of 15 or something. So that was a total, I look at that as it wasn't just him just having a bad game. The entire team had a bad game together. That's fine. And his other games, again, 17 plus points, 17, 17, 19, and 31. I like it.
All right. So D'Angelo Russell over 15.5 points at minus 115. And also his other pick was on Vincent, Gabe Vincent, over 2.5 3-point makes. I wanted to say Jay Vincent. Remember the old guard from Michigan State? Anyway, Jesse,
I wrote it down as Troy Vincent, so there's my
Yeah, so Troy Vincent. Yeah, he's in the NFL union right now. Anyway, Jesse, I failed to ask you what you felt about that pick as well.
D'Angelo Russell. Is this his second stint with the Lakers?
Yeah.
Is he the guy that ratted out Nick Young for seeing other women and told his girlfriend? Is it? I honestly
Swaggy
believe,
Pete, what was his name?
Yeah,
Swaggy
I think he got kicked off the Lakers for telling on his teammates for seeing other women to their wives. I believe that's true. You'd have to Google that, and if that's true, I can't say I'm a big fan of D'Angelo Russell, but you made strong points, Sean.
I got to call your wife again, Jesse, when you're supporting a guy who's cheating on his wife or guys that are cheating on the wife.
Let's be honest. This is the NBA, Ross. There's AJ Green, and then there's everybody else or AC Green and everybody else is promiscuous.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Magic Johnson he was pretty loyal. So anyway, Let me take a look at Golden State and the Lakers. That game will be played in San Francisco, home of the Golden State Warriors. Right now, Golden State a 4.5-point favorite, 228. I'm going to look at the total here, folks. The Lakers defense in the playoffs has been outstanding. They're only allowing 104.3 points per game and holding opponents to 40.6%. And one of the key components I look at when looking at a total, especially if I like the under, is how many free throws a team has given up, not only for the season, but more importantly, in recent weeks and recent games. And over the last 5 games, the Lakers, during the playoffs, and including the postseason or the play-in game against Minnesota, the Lakers only allowing 19 free throw attempts per game. That, by NBA standards, is a very low number. 5 of their 7 playoff games have gone under the total, and the combined score in those 7 games, 215.9 points per game. Now, Golden State obviously is going to present more difficulty defending than Memphis, but in terms of their overall depth. And I know that's a crazy statement considering Memphis was a number 2 seed, but Golden State's healthy now, folks. They're not a number 6 seed. This team, if they were healthy all year, will be in the 2 and 3 seed category, possibly even a 1. The last 3 regular season meetings between these teams have all gone under the total. And also Golden State at home this year, 13-4 to the under. When facing a team with a winning record. So when they host a winning team at home this year, they've only done that 17 times, and 13 of them have gone under the total. And Golden State in the playoffs, they're giving up some points, right? About 113 per game. But slow down on that, because they also played a Sacramento team that was number 1 in offensive efficiency in the first round, and also a Sacramento team that is a willing partner to go up and down at a very high rate in terms of pace. The Lakers aren't in that category, although they're right up there in terms of pace and offensive efficiency, but they're not Sacramento. And Golden State, they've held their opponents to 42% shooting in the postseason and 30.8% from beyond the 3-point line. I'm going to go under here, guys. I'm going to take the Lakers and Golden State to go under the total of 228. Sean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't hate it because, Golden State is going to shoot a lot of threes. Last game they shot 46 threes. They did get to the line, but that's also against a Sacramento team that's going to get frustrated. You're blowing a 2-0 lead, and they're young, and you're fouling guys shooting threes and ridiculous nonsense like that. So yeah, and I think the Lakers are a team that's it's LeBron, but I think this is an AD first team. I think it's got to go inside. There's a grind out kind of slow it down, and 227 looks about right to me. The Kings were the number
actually.
1, okay, 220. I mean, the Kings were a high offensive team, right? Number 1, number 2 out there, like getting up and down the court. And the Lakers play slow. They play slow ball. And if they think they're gonna beat this team, because I think the Warriors are maybe. I don't think they have the depth the Lakers have. Well, it's not like the Lakers and Celtics of the 80s bringing Hall of Famers off the bench, but it's they made trades and brought that guy Rui in there. I can't pronounce his last name, Jimmy Changa or whoever's from Washington. Added some depth. It's a good team. I like it, but I'm with you on the under. I think the Lake. I won't be shocked, and I'm a Laker hater. I'm not really high on them. I won't be shocked if this is like a 7-game series. I think it's gonna be a good series.
Ochimera is what you're.
Ochimera is that his name? Ochimera Chimamara.
Yeah, the kid from Gonzaga. Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go. Sean breaks it down nicely as well. And Jesse, who's never afraid to disagree with one of us, and that's okay. That's what makes this show great. Jesse, what's your thoughts?
Can't disagree this time, Ross. It's never hard to talk me into an under. I was betting the under in the Warriors Kings series quite frequently, specifically the first half under. I don't know if you guys remember, but at one point, I think 3 of the first 5 games had gone over the total, but 4 of the first 5 games went under the total for the first half. And unfortunately, I kept pushing that. And then the game 7 went over in the first half and under in the game. So I ended up getting bitten by it. But I like under in Golden State games. I know that this is a team that can play defense. I've mentioned that before on this show.
Welcome to the rest of us, Jesse. You can't win every time. Okay. So, I think you're doing pretty well. And to focus on one loser would be an injustice. In any event, there you go, folks. We like the Lakers and Golden State under 228. Sean gave you a couple nice NBA props. Sean, you want to repeat them again so I don't screw this up on you?
Yep. Miami Heat, Gabe Vincent over 2.5 3-pointers made -115. And for the Lakers, we have D'Angelo Russell over 15.5 points -115 as well.
Jesse, your free pick again, and the Miami and the Knicks game, and also how you've been doing of late, what you may have coming up.
All right. So I got 2 picks for the Miami-New York game. I got under 105 for the first half, and I got the Knicks on the double result, which means they have to be winning after the first half, and they got to win the game outright. No points to cover. They just got to be winning. But how have I been doing? So the last 31 days, which is since April 1st, 69-43. That's 62%. Up 11,580 units. Guys, don't puke. Whatever you do, don't puke. But yeah. That's 12 grand for dime players, $1,200 for $100 bettors. You come see me at jesseshul.com and you'll be glad that you did.
Yeah, jesseshul.com, and the 38% losers he likes to dwell on, but that's okay as long as he keeps winning 62% of the time. Sean, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, well, I'm not a crazy 60% in my baseball for the last 30 days. I'm actually under 500, but we are plus money at like a 194 because I'm average plus money kind of play guy. Again, a little more volume than Jess, just a tad bit more. But results are still there. We grind them out. So baseball, you can find me there at Picks and Parlays page. Midday Money every day, 12 noon Eastern. Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs. Come say hello.
There you go. Real good show, that Midday Money. And Jesse also has his own YouTube channel, and I would encourage all of you to support them in both areas, like they support me on this show. And they do a great job. And boy, oh boy, we're lucky to have these two guys and Doug Upstone of DocSports.com on this channel. And we hope you're enjoying what we bring to you, folks. And if you are, and you have not subscribed, take a second to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing. No strings attached, no hidden agenda, no subscription plans. You're just privy to the four of us, us three and Doug Upstone, and a wealth of knowledge. And again, folks, our goal is to make you a smarter sports bettor today than you were yesterday. And that applies every day you watch. So, and those of you who have subscribed, we can't thank you enough. This is why this channel is existent and why this channel continues to grow, is from your support. Don't forget, give us a like at the end of our videos, folks. Just a quick note on me, rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com is my website. Our NBA side, my NBA sides, I should say, since the postseason began, 18-8, had another winner on Denver last night. Major League Baseball, 7-3 with my last 10, all sports on a 9-4 run. So that's rbwins.com, jesseshul.com, and picksandparleys.net. for Sean Higgs. Until the next time, for Jesse Shul and Sean Higgs, they'll be back with me tomorrow for another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. But until then, take care and God bless, folks.